I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video we will understand what is the base for rate of change of functions. The question here is, if f of x equals to 5 to the power of x, find f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Right? So that's the question. And then we need to explain the significance of the expression fx plus h minus f of x divided by h, the one which we calculate or compute here. Okay, so let's figure out what is this expression. So what we need to find is f of x plus h minus f of x over h, and we are given that f of x is equals to 5 to the power of x. Now if f of x is 5 to the power of x, what is f of x plus h? Well, we have to replace x with x plus h. So we could write this as 5 to the power of x plus h, which is 5 to the power of x times 5 to the power of h. Correct? Now we can substitute this into our expression. So we could write this as f of x plus h, we just computed, which is 5 to the power of x times 5 to the power of h. Right? So this is from here, we substituted this value here. 5 to the power of x plus h, which could be written as product of 5 to the power of x times 5 to the power of h. Right? Now minus f of x. F of x is given to us as 5 to the power of x divided by h. Right? This is what we have. And now from this expression we can always take 5 to the power of x common. Right? So taking 5 to the power of x common, what do we get in the numerator? We can keep this h also, we'll keep it inside for the time being. Okay, so if you take 5 to the power of x common, you get 5 to the power of h minus 1 divided by h. Okay? So that is what you get. So this expression f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h could be written as 5 to the power of x within brackets 5 to the power of h minus 1 divided by h. So that is the answer for the first part. Well, you could also write this as 5 to the power of x over h times 5 to the power of h minus 1. Okay. Now the second part is, what is the significance of this expression? Let's try to understand that. So let's go back to the basics. The graph of the function 5 to the power of x. How will that look like? 5 to the power of x is an exponential graph, which will be kind of like this, right? So that is a graph which represents 5 to the power of x, right? Let's say this is f of x. Now, anything to the power of 0 is always 1, so it goes through 1. And let us take any point on this graph to represent x. Let's say this point is x. And h, x plus h means from x, h away. So let's take another point, which is at a distance x plus h, right? So in that case, what we have here is f of x plus h, and this will represent the value of the function at x, which is f of x, right? So the value of the function at x is f of x. The value of this function, which is 5 to the power of x, at x plus h will be f of x plus h, right? Now, see what is the difference between these two. Well, if I join, this is the difference between these two will be, this is f of x, this is x plus h. So this portion from here to here represents f of x plus h minus f of x, correct? And how about this portion? X plus h minus x is h, right? So what we see here is that this portion is h. Now from here we can clearly see that this ratio of x, f of x plus h minus f of x. It is change in y. It is change in y, right? Divided by this ratio. This is x plus h minus x. It is change in x. We can write this as change in x. Do you see that? This is the change in x position, and that is the corresponding change in the y position. So that is what it represents. So it basically represents slope of the tangent. You can say average rate of change, right? So it represents, let's say this point is A, this point is B. It represents the hypotenuse of this right triangle, which actually rise over run. Do you see that rise over run? So it represents average rate of change. So it represents average rate of change from x to x plus h, right? So as you move from here to there, the average rate of change in the value of the function is represented by this expression, f of x plus h minus f of x minus, or divided by x plus h minus x, which is h, right? So that is what it represents. I hope that's clear. I'm Anil Kumar, and this is a very important concept. It will help us to understand rate of change at present and then concept of limits. I'm Anil Kumar. You can always share and subscribe to my videos. Thank you and all the best.